Bonjour, messieurs and madames. As we are here, it's Friday. You know what it means. It's Formula One 2020, but not just any Formula One 2020. It's WWRL. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, wherever you are. We are back here on a Friday as we are looked to the WWRL Tier 1 Championship. Could it be Stephen Osh? Could it be Basabi? Could it be Tun? It could literally be anyone. We're here in France, the absolute largest country here in Europe. Well, let's face it, how many facts do we know about France? The Tour de France the cycle race, which is the most famous since 1903, has been racing for almost, well, let's face it, over 100 years. And let's face it, I don't see it going anywhere else. France won the most Nobel Peace Prizes for literature since France's writer Scully Palmer won the first Nobel Peace Prize back in 1903. We're here at the Paul Ricard circuit. Not many times we've actually raced here over the years, especially recently, but 2018 was the first race since, obviously, Alain Prost since 1990. The Paul Ricard circuit opened up in 1970, been no stranger to the Formula One circuit, but as I said, in 2018 we brought it back, and since then Lewis Hamilton has pretty much won every single race, two of them in fact. 15 corners, each of them with French names. I'm not even going to try and pronounce them. Unfortunately, I don't speak the French, but either way, it's depending. It's a love or hate circuit with this chance is where you can at the Paul Ricard circuit. Of course, it had to be none and over the legend himself, Michael Schumacher, with 8 wins. Followed by that, of course, it's another Ferrari. Teams is Ferrari. That's 17 wins. That's at least 9 more than the next one, which is of course Williams. Williams very well known for it, of course. Obviously Nigel Mansell being part of that, of course. The last 2 races, of course, like I said already so far, Lewis Hamilton winning both. But before that was back in 2008 was Felipe Massa of the Ferrari. And since then, it was won by every single Ferrari since before 2005, which was, can you remember? Of course, it is Fernando Alonso in the Renault back then. The fastest lap at the moment around the Paul Ricard circuit for a race lap is a 1:32.7. Can you guess who that was? No, it was not Lewis Hamilton. It was Sebastian Vettel. That was back on 2019 in the Ferrari SF90. Anyway, 16 races this weekend. Hopefully none of them will be anyone of obviously new that we all know, but apart from, I believe, Stingy, obviously last race I think he raced at the Monte Carlo Grand Prix, but obviously I couldn't commentate that. I do apologise. Obviously Matt can't be here today, so I will be filling you with obviously the fun facts which I've already given you. Let's have a look. We're going to try and see who is on an outlap at the moment. As Marty FIFA on a 1:28.130. Tim 1:504 at the moment, also behind him, also doing a nice, decent pace. Let's have a look at Pasabi. Whereabouts is he? He's on the outlap at the moment. I believe he's in the first sector at the moment. So we'll literally just wait a bit longer as we are trying to see what we can do. At the moment, the track length is obviously 5.842 kilometres. Usually it's a 53-lap race, but we're going to be doing half of that. Of course, it's a 50-lap race, 50% race of 27. Let's have a look what else we can get here. Is that Castellette in France? I believe the south of France. I think near Marseille and Lyon, down the south of France. Lovely sunshine. But by looks of things in qualifications, we've got a bit of overcast going on, so you never know. We could end up seeing a wet race. In Tier 2, we actually ended up seeing a wet race, but only on the final 4 laps of the of the race, but it was a quite dry track anyway. So could we see something developing today? Anyway, coming up towards the hairpin now on the final corner, we're going to be on with Basabi, who is looking to see what he can put on for today's race. Anyway, pit straight going on for DRS zone and hitting pretty much 198 miles an hour. Turn 1 after a long blast down the straight. Turn 2, keep the throttle in steady to navigate through that sector. Remember, don't go over that curve, otherwise you're going to get penalised for it. Turn 3, now stay on the track. It's a bit more technical, but very low speed, but going back on turn 4, down with the throttle, down 5. Most drivers accelerate, but harsher after the braking zone. Turn 7, easy flat out as drivers emerge into the Mustro straight. Obviously, now this is where you're going to get up to a very high pace. This is obviously a massive opportunity to do overtaking here, especially with the late braking. Turn 8 and 9 is a chicane of Nord. Once upon a time, it was a clear run down the straight, but obviously since then, back in 2018, they decided to then put chicane in there. Obviously, have more of the overtaking opportunities. I think the DRS obviously then kicked in back then. Also, got a nice single curve tied to the left. Obviously, you're more likely going to be hitting around about 5th gear around there, but by the looks of things, Sabi managed to keep it in 6th gear. Obviously, keeping the revs going as we're coming up towards the final couple of corners now. Right here is now the pit straight. Once upon a time ago, it actually used to be on the pit straight itself. If you look as it going up the hairpin, on your right-hand side, that is where the pit entry actually started, but obviously got rid of that for safety issues. And across the line, as Basabi puts a 1:27.862. Lovely, well done there by Basabi. Puts himself on top on provisional pole, next to alongside his teammate. It could be a lookout for the Alpha Tauri team of Basabi and Martin FIFA. Let's have a look. Who is still yet to make a good couple of runs? By the looks of things, you've got Stephen Nosh, I think, is out at the moment. Stephen Nosh has been actually quite tremendous at a couple of races so far this season, but seems to have pulled back a little bit in terms of his pace. Now you got Flash F11. I'm actually wondering where he's come all of a sudden. Anyway, Stephen Nosh once again going to cross the line now. Goes at a 1:28.485, puts him in 5th place. Got Stingy still on an outlet. Got Flash on an outlet, but you got Desi now coming up towards the onto the final straight now. What can he pull, the Haas driver? He's actually been looking to try and get decent. Wow, 1:27.834. What an absolute tremendous lap that was from Desi. Could he be seeing himself a decent run today? Could he be getting a crucial win? This is an opportunity for him. I will say that now. Who else you got? You've got Brenboy, his teammate at the moment, starting on his lap. You've then now got Flash F111. I don't know whether or not his time has been disallowed. We're not entirely sure. By the looks of things, everyone seems to be doing their pure on best. Who is at the moment Mighty FIFA? He's actually now coming towards the end of his time lap. He's keeping to the left is what you're supposed to be doing. Cross the line, 1:27.07. That's brilliantly done there by Mighty Fita. Overtakes his teammate Basabi and overtakes Desi for provisional pole. You've got Tim 144 coming up on the back on towards the back straight, coming onto that really long right-hand turner. Very high pace that corner that is, but you need to go that flat out. You got SS in the Williams. Now he's going to turn around that hairpin, nice, easy, keeps it nice. And goes on 4th gear, goes on across the track. Seems a bit of a weird one to me, but it does him justice anyway. Moves up 4 places to 6th place with a 1:28.32. Who else you got in the moment? You've got Brenboy now coming up to literally coming up towards the final couple of corners, coming up to the hairpin. 3rd gear at the moment, gone down to 2. We probably needed to keep that on 3 if he had the possible chance. What's he going to put up? He puts himself up to 8th place. That's his first time lap. That puts him in the points. You've still got Snow. You've still got Flash F1. I believe these two didn't pull off a timed lap at the moment. I'm believing they probably of overextended track limits. Anyway, Marty FIFO at the moment stands on provisional pole with a 1:27.703. A decent lap by him, but obviously at least a tenth faster than Desi. You've got Pasabi at the moment, he's on an out lap, so he's going to be wanting to try and do. Is he going to cut the chicane? I think that's the best move for him. No, he wants to try and see if he can get his tyres up to scratch, which is what he's going to be doing. Got yellow flags in sector 2, but I'll guarantee there'll probably be someone moving away. So, who is at the moment going to be coming towards the end of their lap? I believe it's SS. No, he's coming into the pits. You've got Bren Boy. I think he'll be doing the same as well. Other Floyd doesn't seem to be fully pacing it at the moment. And Stingy seems to be going through signs at the moment. As well as Tim O'Gurt at the moment from the McLaren driver. You've also got Arnish. Everyone's literally seems to be. I know, obviously, there's no time lapse going on with this, but everyone seems to be cutting the corners at the moment. You don't tend to see this in normal Formula One. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, 1966 now. He is going to be putting the hammer down now. Nicely done, kept it in the balance there, going up to 8th gear. Yes, just before your hard brake turn. That's another overtaking opportunity, depending if you can get that nice decent exit out of turn 2. Remember, obviously, when it comes to the straights, all you need to do is be on that inside line, and that's it. Let's have a look at the moment. Who is going for what at the moment? You've got Turn. Seems to be going for it at the moment as well. It's currently in 6th place. He's won a good couple of races over the past couple of weeks, so he's going to be looking to try and see what he can do. Coming up to that very long right-hand corner where you can literally stay in 4th if you can. No, it stays up to 5th gear. 5th gear goes up to 7th. That's actually quite decent by him. Picks up the pace still in third, going to 4th, into 5th, into 6th, into 7th gear. He's going to be picking up the pace as he comes up to the next couple of corners right here, going on to the hairpin. Getting a few notifications now at the moment. Flash is a reserve driver, we've heard, for the Renault, and it's going to be his first one, I believe, his first starting lineup. You got. Do you do the presentation on the streams? I'm sorry, I'm getting notifications from people left, right, and centre. But yeah, that was a message from TSM Daniel for the who's in Tier 2 race. So he's obviously giving me his compliments. He's obviously loving the stream. So going to go back on with the FIA directors at the moment. Who's on an outlap at the moment? Turn at the moment with 1:27.781. Lovely, well done there by the McLaren driver. Once again, showing his pace, I believe, at his home Grand Prix. The Frenchman of the McLaren. Who else do we know as a Frenchman? It was a Frenchman for McLaren. Of course it was. It was, of course, the great Alain Prost. So he was obviously famous for this track. Couturn actually put his name on the score sheet under the French flag. You've got Stephen Osh at the moment, seems to be going for it at the moment, keeping it nice and tidy. No, he seems to have backed out of that, so I believe he may be setting himself up for probably the next lap. Got literally under 3 minutes left of this qualification. Who's at the moment? You've got Tun. He's going to try. Is he going to go for another one? Maybe, I'm not entirely sure, but he hasn't got enough fuel unless he goes in as quick as possible to then come back out. Anyway, got Pim RB in the Ferrari at the moment. He's going at a very slow pace. He's going to probably be coming back in. Got Stephen Osh. What is he going to be doing? Yes, he's going straight for it. No, maybe not. That's very slow by him. Trying to see who's actually going to be fully on sending it at the moment. We're going to stay on with other Floyd, I believe, at the moment, because he seems to be going straight for it. So, going to stay on board with him as of at the moment. Did that look to be like he cut the corner a little bit too much of a Floyd? I'm not entirely sure, but he still seems to be going for it, going at 6th gear, 7th gear. Yeah, he's still going for it with, I believe, yep. DRS is open. I think he is fully on sending it. So I believe no time lap has been deleted from that. Cutting that corner nicely, keeping the pace going. That is lovely. Well done there by Other Floyd, keeping the pace up nice and well. Remember, on this bit, you need to stay as far left as you possibly can, using all that curb. Going on to another curb on the right, using the curb on the left. Probably could have used a little bit more, but still keeps it going. 5th gear's going through here. That is lovely. Well done. 6th gear, 7th gear. Now he's going to have to go all the way down to 3rd gear, losing a bit of pace here. But this could be a decent lap. Stephen Osh is actually retired from the session. Got a way to go here, to be honest, Stephen Osh, unless there's something going on that I'm not aware of. Hopefully the FIA will be able to let me know what's going on with that. Anyway, Other Floyd doesn't improve on his lap time, so he's going to stay on 11th. So he can have the choice of tyres, especially if you're from the back, depending on what the weather's going to be saying. Your best bet is going to be a one-stop strap on the medium to hard compounds, especially if you have the opportunity. Because remember, everyone about 10th, 9th, 7th, 8th, and 7th are going to be using those soft tyres, and they're going to be already used. So medium tyres is the way to go, especially if you're outside the top 10. Stingy is actually now retired from the race. I think he's going to be staying on the medium tyres as well. And at the moment, you've got Marty FIFA out on his outlap. He's going to be looking to try and go for it now. Marty FIFA currently on provisional pole. His teammate Basabi is on 4th place with a couple, literally just a 10th under him. Flash 111 is now retired from his. So I think everyone is literally going to be giving up on their lap times now. So going to stay on with Marty FIFA, using much track extension as he possibly can. Remember, for a couple of these laps here, right here, you're going to avoid that one, and that one for the Cubs, including this one. So there you go, full on send it through there, cutting the curb. Oh, I think he may have literally just got away with it there, but the thing is, his back end kicked out there, especially using the curb on the right hand side. Yeah, obviously it kicking out a little bit. You need to be careful of that. This track can catch you out, especially on spin. Marty FIFA still full on sending it. Obviously no yielding by looks of things. He's going to be taking it wide and then back on into 4th gear. So he's going to be good looking for pace, staying on that right hand side. Take last couple of corners, coming up to the hairpin. Now this is where it's make or break. Turn is second. Same with Desi, he's 3rd place. Basabi is still doing his lap. What is Marty FIFA going to be doing? He does 1:27.536. That's incredible. Now, what's his teammate? Basabi, wow! 1:27.433. He beats his teammate. It's a lockout at the front. It's an AlphaTauri. 1-2. That is absolutely incredible. Wow, Marty FIFA made an answer. Basabi answers straight back. That's absolutely incredible there by the two AlphaTauri drivers. These two can race together. Absolutely brilliant. So that is qualifying. That is absolutely brilliant from the AlphaTauri, looking out that front row. You got then the two McLarens behind him with Tun and Timo Gert, followed by Desi, who's putting a very decent lap in there, but unfortunately misses out on the second row. But he is accompanied by Tim 1404 in the racing point. Let's have a look. At the moment, we've got Flash F111 putting the slowest time in 16th, followed by his teammate, then to hit out the back row with Stingy with a 1:27. Let's have a look. I believe, look at all those Dutch flags. You can't get any more better than that. All of them is looking to see what they can do for this race. Anyway, the two AlphaTauris looking to do just that. Hopefully, trying to see if you can get a 1-2 stop if you can, depending on what Basabi and Marty FIFA pull off. They're more likely going to have to go on a 2-stop strat by the looks of things, which will be a soft, medium, with those on behind. I think in 10th place, depending on if you use the mediums for your fastest time. you'll be doing a one-stop strat. That'll be from the mediums to the hards. That is a recommendation, especially to try and get yourself up into the points. Seem about set to go at the moment. Obviously, it's going to be doing the formation lap. Obviously, everyone will be checking what they'll be using. Once again, I wish Matt was here. Unfortunately, I do need a break every now and then and have a sip of a drink. Because trust me, I'm going to definitely need it for this race, especially with a lot of overtaking opportunities, unlike Monaco and the Hungaro ring. So here we go. We're up and ready to go for the formation lap. Now this, remember, is a crucial lap. Getting those tyres nice and temperature. We're going to see who is running on what strategy today. Going to go on to the tyres if we can. There we go. By the looks of things, everyone in 10th place is going for the soft compound. You've got a couple of that at the moment at the back, which is Stingy, Flash, are both on the hard set. So they're looking to set themselves up for a massive part of the race. I mean, I can see that happening from going on the hards all the way to possibly onto the medium. So they're going to be looking to go do a fast race. So we're going to be staying on with at the moment on standby. Try and get the full lap up. There we go. Everyone warming up their tyres. So that is going to be crucial for the up and coming. Remember, you don't want cold tyres, otherwise everyone's going to be much faster than you. Remember, you're going to need to be on a lean mix all the way up to possibly turn 14, I believe. That's when you're going to need to put in on the Rix mix and obviously activate ERS when you get off to the start. So obviously all these are for preparation for a decent start. Well, I'm going to be looking forward to this because I've got a feeling we could be in for a decent one. So far, no actual reports of rain just yet, but we may have some. Remember, France doesn't over the past couple of years in real life haven't had a wet race at the Paul Ricard circuit. So could we be seeing something quite new today as we are on the pit straight now? Everyone is looking to gain their places upon the starting grid. On the final couple of back markers coming into play now. So we are pretty much off and ready to go. What's going to happen? It's here in France. We're here at the Paul Ricard circuit. It's lights out! Remember, there's applause. Away we go as Bsabi gets an excellent start, followed by Mighty FIFA. Any of the McLarens trying to get into places. You got Tun taking second place now. Got the inside line. Tun has now successfully used that overtaking. Unfortunately, he's got Mighty FIFA right behind him. Now you got the Timo Gertz fighting behind with Bsabi. Anyone coming off at the moment? I'm not entirely sure. Lightning 66 seems to have doubled down all the way to 16th, unfortunately. What else you got going on at the moment? Everyone seems to be... Virtual safety car has been deployed. I believe that there's been a couple of broken wings, I believe. Let's have a look, see what we can find out. Timo Gertz is fine. Mighty FIFA, I believe, I'm trying to see who it was. I believe it was the... yes, it's SND Snow. He's lost an end plate, as well as other Floyd. He's lost both end plates. I wonder how that's happened. You got Lightning 66. He seems to be okay. I think he may have just spun out, so we can only imagine what's happened there. Anyway, virtual safety car seems to be ending very soon, so we'll be off to a restart. And here we go again. All lights green, and we're going once again. As it stands at the moment, Bsabi followed by Tun and Martin FIFA, then three make up the top three at the moment. Stephen Osh in 9th place overtakes Brunboy as we're coming up and finish our first lap. So now, first lap is going to be crucial. Who's going to be taking the fastest lap time going? Got Basabi and defending off, trying to see what he can do by breaking off Toe from turn 04. Remember, this is Turn's home race. He's going to want a good result. Let's have a look. Anyone is in close battle at the moment. It will be the two in 4th and 5th place at the moment, as well as Desi's going to look to try and get the slipstream from Tim O'Gurt. Seems to be a bit of a single file at the moment. No one really taking any overtaking opportunities. There we go. Actually, it's just done. Tim O'Gurt has actually lost out a place for Desi. I think Desi may have had the better exit out of turn 5, I believe. So he's going to want to try and get as much as he possibly can out of that. You've got Prim RB in the Ferrari behind Tim O'Gurt at the moment, who seems to be struggling at the moment with the pace. As Tim O'Gurt's now got the slipstream for Prim RB. Not nice. Is he going to try and go for the inside? No, he's going to stay a little bit further back. He's going to try and take it with the DRS zone on lap number 3. Next time you're going to be able to use the DRS zone will be, of course, at the end, I believe, to turn 6, where you're going to be reaching up to about 200 miles an hour, especially with those softs. Remember, softs are going to be the ones with the most grip and the fastest, but their lifespan does not exceed at least 10 laps, so you're going to need to keep on going for it. Flash 144 and Flash F1 with a 5-second time for speeding in the pit lane, as Desi with a 1:32.44 with the fastest time. At the moment, it's these two still battling out with Sabi and Tun. We've got Pim RB now up to 5th place, as Tim O'Gurt has once again lost out. What's the closest race at the moment? It will be SS2560 behind the Tim 144. Now DRS and ERS is deployed by SS. He's got Rich Mix, but Tim is staying on the inside, pushing out. A little bit push out there by Tim, but at the end of the day, he still keeps the track nice and cleanly there. Gun the defending nice and well done. You've got the two the 3 behind at the moment seem to be scrapping. You've got Flash 1411. He's the reserve driver for today for the Renault. You've got SMD Snow, who's going to be hunting him down, trying to see what he can get out of it. He's got DRS open. He's gaining and gaining, but unfortunately, I believe he may have to wait a little bit longer unless he gets a decent exit out of the chicane. I believe he's going to be a little bit better, maybe not. Oh, a bit of snap out there, that SMD Snow. He's probably left himself open there by other Floyd. But anyway, we're going back to the front now, as Breadboy seems to be pitting. No, Desi seems to be pitting. What's happened here? Is he going for an early one? He seems to be, yeah, he's doing a 2-stop strap. He is going onto the medium, so he'll be doing a soft, medium. He's going to be going all the way to the, towards at least lap 20 on those medium tyres. You've got SS now behind Tim 144. Now a bit of understeer there by Tim 144, leaving SS with no option, but obviously to overtake him around the outside, around the inside. Nicely well done there, ERS. Nice and easy, really, to be honest. You can't go wrong with it. Turn is actually overtaken. Another 3-second time penalty for Flash 144. Floyd has got one as well. But anyway, sorry, going back to the 3 at the front. Turn now leads the race with Basabi on the slipstream. Nicely well done. Got the clean air behind him. But obviously the softs are going to be wearing away quite quickly. You've got obviously Mighty Thief behind Basabi. These two are going to be hunting down Turn for that top spot on the podium. So lap 4 at the moment doesn't seem to be any clear winner at the moment, apart from obviously the top 3, I believe, unless Pim RB can make a statement. This will be interesting to see what can happen. Basabi now trying to get as much as he could possibly come from Turn as a slipstream, but Turn trying to break the slipstream and try to break Toe. Turn nicely done there, keeps it nice and real. By looks of things, Basabi's going to look to try and see if he can get him on the straight with the DRS. So turn, a little. Basabi loses a bit of ground there, but not too much. So Basabi's going to look to try and see if he can get a little bit more pace. He's got the DRS. Turn's going to break toe. Turn is weaving around a little bit, trying to see what he can do. Basabi's doing the same. Nicely done there from both drivers, as I believe, I think Turn's going to have to wait. Well, sorry, I believe Basabi's going to have to wait a little bit longer unless Marty FIFA can get the slipstream. But Basabi seems to have just gained a little bit there, unless he's used a little bit of ERS to give him a bit of help in that corner. But Turn seems to be once again on the back foot a little bit now, once again. As both of them are going up into Sector 3 now. Sorry, well, mid-race through Sector 3, I do apologise, coming up to the last couple of corners. Now Basabi is going to want to try and get whatever he can from Turn in terms of the slipstream. Now, slipstreams is very important. You need to get that clean air as much as you possibly can. Otherwise, the dirty air does not do you any favours, especially for the aerodynamics. Anyway, DRS activated. No ERS yet. Basabi seems to be harvesting it a little bit to make sure he can get the job done on Turn. Turn seems to be a little bit deeper on that, into that corner. Turn pulling out at least a little bit more further. I think he had a better exit than Basabi on that corner, but Basabi once again is trying to answer back as much as we possibly can. Those tyres are starting to probably start wearing away a little bit. Remember, Basabi has been behind Turn now, and Turn has obviously been behind Basabi. So these guys, their tyres are going to be absolutely cooked at the moment. But once again, Turn trying to break the dirty and trying to give dirty air to Basabi. Basabi, is he going to get? He looked for it, but it did not happen. Now Basabi's going to look to try and see what he can do. He's got a little bit better now out of that turn. He's got the slipstream behind Turn. Turn is obviously using the centre of the track as much as he possibly can. Basabi, right up behind him, got the slipstream, looking to go on the inside. No, he looks it. Has to back out as quick as he possibly can. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer. I believe it's going to have to be, once again, on to Sector 2. But Marty FIFA is sticking with them. But so is PMRB, which is actually quite surprised. But Timo gets straight behind him. And back then, I believe SS is going SS for the Williams. He's going to have to pay all he possibly can. Anyway, Marty FIFA coming in with the pit stop. So he's having to break... He's having to break first with, I believe, Basabi still looking to try what he can do against Turn. Turn seems to be more aggressive through that, but he has a better exit on that. Breaks a little bit of toe, but unfortunately, Basabi's right back under him. These two are brilliantly racing each other. This is actually quality from both McLaren and the AlphaTauri. Turn is trying to get away from it, but I think Basabi may have screwed it over. Anyway, ERS is now deployed. So is DRS. Turn trying to break as much as he possibly can in terms of the slipstream. Goes for it again, Basabi, but once again has to wait longer. Turn, unfortunately, slow out of that corner, but Basabi fails to try and get through onto that, but he has the ERS deployment open now. He's going to try and go around the inside. Got to wait a little bit longer, but got the slipstream. Is Turn going to go for it? He's defended well, Turn once again, but Basabi is still trying to hunt him down for that top spot. Remember, these two are going toe to toe in the championship at the moment. We're going to try and see if I can get the championship table up. If you just bear with me, because these two are going toe to toe at the moment. I believe Turn has pitted, so is PMRB. Those both pitted. Basabi is now going to have to put the hammer down now to try and see what he can do to literally gain a little bit of a momentum over Turn as he has pitted. So let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship. At the moment, Marty FIFA is leading it at the moment, followed by his teammate Basabi, followed by Turn. So these three are definitely looking to try and stamp their name out. Marty FIFA came second in Monaco last week with a third place, obviously, at the Hungaroring. Basabi with a third place.
But first place, wondering who actually got that in the end. I'm not entirely sure who. You have to bear with me because unfortunately I couldn't commentate on that race. I believe, according to this, no one got first place. That's an interesting development. Anyway, we'll try and see what we can go for there. Anyway, I believe that AlphaTauri are on top of the table in terms of the constructors. Of course, they are. They're leading by at least 73 points. Sabi now 1.6 seconds down from Timo Gertz, but Timo Gertz is not the one to be worrying about at the moment. It will be Tun and Marty FIFA. Then to at least a couple of bits behind now. Is Sabi's coming in? Yes, of course he is. Braking as much as he possibly can. Now, this is a very long pit stop, but it could end up seeing what is going to happen right here. You've got Chung now coming up to the second to last corner, now coming around the hairpin. I believe Basabi may have to conceal here. Yeah, Chun has once again overtaken Basabi. And does Mighty FIFA? Yes, Mighty FIFA is now once again up above Basabi. So Chun is actually on another set of softs. An interesting development here. That's actually very interesting, actually. So considering that. So unless he's going from a soft onto a medium, that is quite an interesting play from Tun. So obviously you got, but unfortunately you've got the two AlphaTauris of both Mighty FIFA and Basabi. Timo Gertz were picking up a 3-second time penalty, so back to AlphaTauri. Them two have got onto the hard, so they're looking to go towards the end of this race on the hard compound. Unless I am seeing some overcast clouds going on here. Could we be seeing some rain here? Only time will tell. Here at the Paul Ricard circuit. Seem to be getting a message in here now from the FIA. Hopefully we're wondering what it could be. We'll see what unfolds. As at the moment, who is leading in the race? It's Lightning 66 on the mediums. Desi on to second on the medium tyres now. He's on 5 lap olds, but Turn at the moment. Interesting development on the soft compound again. So wondering what he's going to be looking to do. Still got messages from the FIA coming through at the moment. Very long message by the looks of things. As Turn gets a 1:31.805. That's fantastic. That's a really good lap time, especially beating the Sebastian Vettel's lap record back in 2018, I believe. So let's try and see what we can do. Brandboy getting a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. That'll be once again hitting the track limit a little bit too much. Let's have a look at the penalty, shall we? We'll. At the moment, Floyd has the with a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. It is a flash one. So we flash F1 11. Remember, he had a 5-second time penalty for obviously speeding in the pit lane, and he's also got, I'm going to believe, using beyond the track limits. It's Sharkey won the Monaco Grand Prix, apparently, as we did not know. Obviously, it's Sharkey didn't really, hasn't really participated this year in the Formula One Grand Prix, for the Formula One Championship, but I'm guessing he came back in as a reserve driver. But apparently it shows up obviously with no points, but he did win all the points and marked only to team standards. So unfortunately, I do believe it's Sharky. Oh yeah, it's Sharky. Obviously, once again proving what he can do. I wish, fortunately, he could be more part of the Formula One season this year. But unfortunately, life gets in the way, and it takes away some of the best drivers. I think if Sharky was part of this this year, I think he could have had a shot at the world title. You never know. But anyway, the title at the moment is between Basabi, Tun, and Marty FIFA. Them three can definitely race, all three of them. Another 3-second time penalty from, I believe, Boy, who picks up for multiple warnings. We've got the two at the bottom, Over Floyd and Flash F111, the Williams and the Renault. Both of them have appeared, so I'm wondering what's going on. Are they expecting rain, I believe? We could be seeing some rain, but at the moment, you've got, well, let's have a look at our closest race. You've got Stingy behind Marty FIFA at the moment. Stingy on 10-lap old hard tyres, with Marty FIFA on the 4-lap old hard tyres. Marty FIFA is obviously the fastest driver between the two, but by the looks of things, Stingy could be trying to see if he can actually, put a bit of luck, unless Marty FIFA is slowing down to try and help his teammate Basabi get into DRS range, which he is in now at the moment. Desi's actually just overtaken on the brake zone by passing Lightning 66. That's lovely, well done there by the Hash driver himself. Anyway, Basabi at the moment, DRS zone going on behind Stingy, trying to get the clean air as much as possibly can. Coming up to turn 1, nice and fast line here, snap back onto turn 2. Basabi seems to be taking all the track as he possibly can get. Other Stingy saved a little bit more of the centre. He's going to be losing a bit of time there now to Basabi. Marty FIFA trying to see if he can get out of DRS zone, which I believe he is, which is setting up Basabi nicely there to try and to go for the overtake. DRS zone, nice exit out there. Slipstream is available for Basabi. ERS is open. He's going for it. Nicely well done on the inside line. He's going to give him enough room. Basabi gets the job done, but he's got Timo behind him. Timo behind him. You've got now Timo Gertz literally behind Stingy, but the Stingy's behind Basabi. Now, Stingy has got the outside line, whether Timo Gertz is on the inside. These two almost click, but luckily enough, Timo Gertz picks up the place. Now, Basabi going to be hunting down his teammates now, Marty FIFA. But Marty FIFA will be looking to try and get to Lightning 66 as much as he possibly can. Remember, Lightning 66 has pitted once and now he's pitting again. So Marty FIFA will be picking up another place. Desi is staying in second place. He's going to be trying to hunt down Tun on those soft tyres. Now, I think there will be rain. I think Tun has probably may have pulled a blinder here. Not entirely sure. So it depends on whether or not we are going to see rain. As Lightning 66 now comes out of the pit, he's on the hard tyres. He's been overtaken by Stephen Osh, as SMG Snow, the person he's going to be racing against, is coming up towards the start-finish line. There he is in the background, and Lightning 66 puts himself in 12th place. Try and see if we can go back to the closest race we've got at the moment is Basabi and Timo Gertz, as well as Marty FIFA. These two are at least a couple of tenths off behind each other. Over Floyd with another 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. What's happened here? Has he retired? Over Floyd has DNF'd. Interesting development. Okay, we can see what happened. I believe, Over Floyd may have just, I think that'll be it for him, I believe, unless his AI comes back out. We have tend to see this again. Yes, the AI is back on the move again, so he will be getting blue flags. Marty FIFA once again trying to get as quick as possible. He's getting to lock up though, which doesn't help him out, especially behind his teammate with Basabi behind him. Got another yellow. You got more yellow flags, obviously in front. I believe it's Over Floyd's car. So no overtaking opportunity going through this. Over Floyd car getting out of the way, which is nicely done, nice and considerate. Got Timo Gertz still behind Basabi. Tun still on those soft tyres. It wouldn't surprise me if Basabi may have got a warning there for extended track limits, because obviously he cut the corner there a little bit. So I believe Basabi is still in DRS range. Marty FIFA is under the cosh here a little bit, because Basabi is looking to try and get what he can Another lockup there by Mighty FIFA. Doesn't do him justice as well. Remember, Basabi is going to get the slipstream as well. So, considering the ERS, I believe Mighty FIFA is pretty much managed to use all of his. Whereas Basabi hasn't got a lot, but still a little bit more than Mighty FIFA. So I'm guessing he's going to be using the harvesting and using the slipstream as much as he possibly can. He's using as well as using the DRS in both sectors 1 and 2 to try and get up into the podium places. Desi at the moment on the medium tires is about literally coming up behind Turn. Sorry, Mighty FIFA coming up behind Desi, and Desi with up into first place now as Turn has come on to the medium. So I believe, soft onto the mediums. Turn will be now going towards the end of the race on these sets of tyres, I believe. Now, Mighty FIFA and Basabi still once again trying to see who can come up on top. Let's have a look at the standing at the moment, because we could be seeing a change of positions here for the end of this race. I believe, it's only 7 points separating the two Alpha Tauris at the moment. Mighty FIFA with 109 points, with Basabi with 102, as Mighty FIFA's actually got a better exit out there than Desi is on those 11 up old mediums, as Mighty FIFA gets the job done. Basabi is now going to want to try and get what he can from Desi. Is he going to get the spoils from the party as well? Seems to be a lot more grip than Desi. Desi seems to be struggling here for pace, especially going through these turns now, where I believe the hard compound tyres are going to have the upper hand. Let's have a look as we're going to stay on board with this. Remember, Timo goes straight behind Basabi at the same time. Desi's coming in. Mighty FIFA now moving up to first place as Desi now comes into the pits, puts up Basabi into second. Do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, I may have a cold coming on, but hopefully not. Remember, I need to stay healthy, especially for the rest of this race. Basabi, nice and deep in there, as well as Mighty FIFA. Mighty FIFA taking as much as he possibly can. Both of them sticking to the left-hand side. Remember, that's the shortest part of the track, so especially when the wear on the tyres doesn't really affect you most, especially on the hards. Remember, because they do take you an awful long way to the end of this race. Basabi with literally 0.6 of a second behind Mighty FIFA, and going to try Mighty FIFA trying to break toe. Basabi now below half a second. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer unless Mighty FIFA once again locks up a little bit, but Basabi doesn't get the best of exits, so he's going to remain behind Mighty FIFA for the rest of this lap. With a bit of slipstream going on, Mighty FIFA doesn't seem to be using the racing line a little bit, so he's going to be a little bit off centre. Doesn't use all the curb, but keeps on racing as we're coming up towards the final couple turns of this lap. Desi picking up a 3-second time penalty for extending track limits, and that will go for the same with IRS Stingy in the Renault. Both of the Alpha locking up there, but I believe Basabi had the better exit there, as he's got the DRS zone. He's got a lot of ERS still, so he's going to be looking to try and see if he can get the job done. Nicely cut there by Basabi, as well as keeping under the cosh for Mighty FIFA. Mighty FIFA will be under a bit of pressure as we come up to the last couple of corners of Sector 1. Sector 2 is where the business is going to be done for Basabi. Half a second at the moment. Mighty FIFA seems to be juggling on a little bit of the place, but ERS deployment as well as DRS, I believe. No, not ERS as well. I believe he'll be using that probably for the beginning of Sector 3. Lock up there by Mighty FIFA again. ERS deployment, is it going to be used? No, not yet. I am wondering what is strategy here for Basabi. Is he going to let Mighty FIFA run out the rest of his tyres, or trying to see if he can gain a bit more momentum and use ERS and DRS at the same time? I'm wondering what the fuel is like for him as of at the moment. We're going to try and see what we can find out. Not much with the fuel. We're not getting much from that. But Basabi, with at least 70% ERS deployment is available to him. Whereas, well, my FIFA hasn't got that much left on him. So DRS open now for Basabi, trying to use what he can. Stingy, I believe, is no, that's not Stingy. I believe is Flash F111. He seems to have picked up a couple of yellow flags there. Wondering what happened there, but only time will tell. Trying to see anything else happening in the race at the moment. Not at the moment. These two at the moment is of course the important race. Marty FIFA and Basabi, as SMD Snow picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. At the moment, Basabi a long way off from Marty FIFA, as he is using DRS. He's using a bit of ERS, so he's using to try and catch up as much as possibly can. Literally just 4 tenths of a second, sorry, now separating these two. Marty FIFA getting a little bit more of an exit out there than Basabi did. So that, I think that's the opportunity for Basabi to now use ERS on Marty FIFA. It has to be done next lap. Anyway, let's have a look at penalties. Not much of a distance at the moment. Timo Gertz with a 3-second time penalty. We've got yellow flags in sector 3, F1, Flash F1 at 11 again. He will more likely soon be getting yellow flags as Timo Gertz is literally still behind Basabi, Marty FIFA. Bit of really late braking there by Timo Gertz at the moment. He's trying to look what he can get out of it. He's going to try and see, because he is on the better tyre. He's on the medium tyres. I'm wondering, how old are those? Those are 9-lap old. So I believe Basabi and Marty FIFA will have the upper hand, as Marty FIFA once again is under the cosh by Basabi. Coming up to at the turn 1, turn 2 now, turn 3, coming up to turn 4. Late braking zone. Here is an opportunity for overtaking, but you need to be a lot quicker and have a lot more of a exit than these two did. So Basabi seems to probably be in much more of a range here, as he has a better exit. DRS is now open. Is he going to be using the ERS? Only time will tell. He's not going to go for it, Basabi. I think you need to use ERS, mate. It needs to be done, as Flash F1 gets another 3-second time penalty. That is now 6 seconds for him at the moment. Who is at the moment going to be looking to do the most? Turn at the moment seems to be a bit of trouble at the moment on those 4-lap old medium tyres, as Basabi and Marty FIFA are looking to go all the way to the end of this race. The clouds have seemed to have parted away. We did try to see if we could get some more flags that are coming up now. It's sector 3. I believe it is the Renault. It is Flash F1. He has retired from the race. I believe his race is over, as both the AlphaTauris are now both locking up. Marty FIFA seem to have the better exit out of there, but Basabi has the DRS to try and get back in here. And once again, I am simply asking, Basabi, you need to use your ERS deployment. You've got enough of it. You use it, my friend. It needs to be used, as he gets a better exit than Marty FIFA out of turn 2. Turn 3 into turn 4, as these two are quite closely now. Who is going to be out of this better? Turn 1 seems to be yellow flags. Yep, I believe it is Flash F1 getting the yellow flags. DRS deployment now in use. Marty FIFA, once again, is Basabi going to go for it? He needs to use the ERS deployment. Basabi has pretty much almost literally got 90% ERS. I think he needs to be using this, unless he is looking for something unless he's actually using something or seeing something that he hasn't seen yet. On Marty FIFA at the moment, with the tyre disadvantage, 13 laps in, but seems to be driving really well, seriously, against his teammate right here, as we are coming towards the end of sector 3. Timo Gertz with the penalties at the moment, 3-second time penalty, which at the moment still keeps him on the podium place with Tim 144 and the racing point. At least 7 seconds behind him. Both, once again, AlphaTauris are locking up. I mean, I can't really stress enough on how these two are actually still racing. How these two are still racing, as you still got Timo Gertz behind them on the medium tyres. The medium tyres seem to be faster, but the long lasting at the moment is the hard tyres. Flash F1 has left the session, so he's going to be. So his car may will be coming into the pits, I believe. Will it? No, it won't. It will stay out there a little bit longer. So, Marty FIFA, is he going to have the better exit out of turn 9? Yes, he does. Remember, Basabi, you need to use the ERS deployment, my friend. It needs to be done. Unfortunately, you're way behind. Basabi, your teammate, as they are coming up to the chicane. SMD Snow is retired from the race. Yellow flags. Yep, he's gone into the pit, so he's obviously had enough of the race already. That moves up Arnish Seth, not his teammate, but for the Ferrari, up into 13th place, as we are now coming up towards lap 22 of this Grand Prix. At the moment, still no clear winner between the two AlphaTauris at the moment. Marty FIFA at the moment leading the championship at the moment, followed by his teammate Basabi. Basabi has so much ERS deployment, whereas I'm wondering, does Marty FIFA have a bit? He has, but not as much as Basabi. Basabi now using ERS deployment, DRS as well, but only for a split second. Try and use as much curb as you possibly can. Basabi using a little bit more than Marty FIFA, but I believe Basabi has a little bit more of a better exit than Marty FIFA. Turn 3 into turn 4. Nice little snapback. Marty FIFA seems to have gone a bit wide there, but he still keeps it under the cosh. Loses at least a tenth or maybe a 2 behind Basabi. Basabi has a little better exit now. ERS and DRS deployment. Is it going to be used? DRS is open. ERS is still not being. I'm wondering what is Basabi thinking on doing. Is he going to try and see if he can literally get him on the last lap? I'm wondering now this. I think Basabi could be looking to weigh himself up towards the last couple of laps, as he probably may know that Marty FIFA is on a very low ERS deployment, at least 30%. Whereas look at that bar for Basabi is pretty much full. So I can pretty much see these two finishing 1 and 2 for the race, as Marty FIFA looks to be going in nice and neatly. Basabi seems to have gone a bit wide there, but Marty FIFA using all curb there. Late braking there from Basabi. Doesn't do him justice. Lock up there by Marty FIFA, but doesn't seem to pull anything. So EOS used again there, as well as the DRS. Marty FIFA still trying literally all as best as he can. I think Basabi may be trying to do, trying to pull off as much as he possibly can, unless I think Basabi could be a bit closer to Marty FIFA this time round, as he seems to be much better off here. So Marty FIFA got the hasn't got the better exit, or has he? Yes, he has got the better exit. But ERS deployment now, DRS as well. I believe Basabi could have the chance here. Is he going to go on the inside? Is he going to be a little late braking? No, he's thought about it once again, having to back out. These two definitely once again can race. SS 2560 with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings once again. Trying to use as much of the track you possibly can, but taking it off a little bit too much. There's not really much of a race apart from obviously Brenboy and Lightning 66. These two are quite close at the moment. Brenboy with the DRS open, trying to catch up with Lightning 66. Brenboy having the better tyre than Lightning 66, I believe, because I think the mediums will more likely be the prime for him. He was going to try and see if he can get in the points using the slipstream. Anyway, back to the race. You've got Pim RB now up behind Tim 144 and the racing point. But you've got Timo Gertz at the moment, seems to be struggling on those medium compound tyres behind Basabi. But at the moment, you've got also Basabi still behind Marty FIFA. This as we are coming towards the last couple of races. Tim 1404 is now got a 3-second time penalty. That does wonders now for PMRB, who could possibly get 4th place. So all PMRB needs to do is now race against Tim O'Gertz. Now, ERS deployment and DRS is now going to be used on my FIFA. That is done. Basabi is now in the lead for the remaining of this race, I believe, unless my FIFA can come back at him at some point. But by looks of things, Mighty FIFA in the slipstream doesn't use ERS. It's going to use as much as it possibly can for the toe for Basabi. As we're coming up past turn 11 it's turn 10, turn 11, 96.6, 3-second time penalty. That does wonders for Brandboy as well, because obviously Brandboy puts him up into the places as Brandboy now switched places with 96.6. That's been obviously done justice for him, but Brandboy obviously has also has I believe penalties as well. 3 seconds, so yeah, Brandboy will stay as it is. 10th place puts him in for at least a point. Need to take a break. Sorry, once again, my lips are parched, my throat is dry. Need to take a drink because again, I guarantee it, we're going to be in for the last couple of laps here. Basabi once again. Oh, bit of a kickback there from Basabi, but Mighty FIFA keeps it under wraps. Mighty FIFA is going to want to try and get a better exit now. Then Basabi doesn't really, but DRS is open now on for Mighty FIFA as he's looking to try and get as much clean air as he possibly can from Basabi. Very close into these two SS with another 3-second time penalty. A lot of penalties today. Once again, this track can kill you for it. It really can. So at the moment, biggest amount of penalties at the moment is Tim 144. That puts at least Tun up into, I believe, 5th place. But Prim RB with 3 seconds, literally behind. Prim RB at the moment. Prim RB could end up plummeting from 4th place down to 5th as Tim 144 looks to try and defend off Tun from getting that 3rd place spot. DRS open once again for Mighty FIFA behind Basabi, coming up to the last couple of laps here as we are on the second to last lap. Mighty FIFA a little bit trying to crawl and towards Basabi. These two want to race, but could there be team orders? I'm not entirely sure, because Basabi looks to be probably going for the rest of this race in the lead, unless he pulls a mistake and lets Mighty FIFA get a better exit. Mighty FIFA seems to have backed off a little bit, took a little bit too much curb and a lot less tarmac. So Mighty FIFA is going to be out of range for the remainder of this lap, I believe, unless he uses the ERS deployment full on for the rest of the last lap. But I believe Basabi will be doing the exact same as well. I believe Basabi may have got a black and white flag for that. Warnings, obviously, for track extension, as he kind of slightly cut the corner there, but I'm not entirely sure yet. But these two once again are clean racing. Mighty FIFA braking there, trying to get as much as he possibly can close to Basabi. Gets a better exit out of turn 12, going into turn coming up towards turn 13 now. Wow. I can see this coming up down to the last lap between these two. I will tell you that now. Lock up there from Basabi, but not for Mighty FIFA. Mighty FIFA has probably a little bit not of a better exit there from the last turn 15. So DRS is in deployment now. Final lap. Here we go. Basabi leads the race at the moment for the AlphaTauri boys at the front on the 1-2 at the moment. Mighty FIFA 7/10 of a second behind. I believe Basabi could be seeing himself actually leading for the rest of this race. Penalties at the moment. Tim O'Gertz with 3 seconds and 6 seconds on turn. So I believe Stephen Osh with a 3-second time penalty. I believe we could be seeing Timo Gertz taking that third place spot. So here we go. ERS could be deployed now here for the rest of this race. Mighty FIFA trying to use a bit of ERS deployment there. Is he going to use a slipstream? Not at the moment. I think he's going to be settling in place here for the second place at the moment, unless he tries and pulls off something for the final couple of laps. I'm not entirely sure, but ERS deployment is key at the moment. But Basabi is using all he can now to try and get and stay in front. But I don't think he knows that team orders are existing at this point of the race. ERS deployment a little bit from there for Mighty FIFA, but that's it. I think we are seeing the rest of this race as of here. But so we're coming up to the last corner. Well, it was started 1-2. It's going to finish 1-2 as Basabi takes the checkered flag and wins the French Grand Prix with Mighty FIFA coming up and second place. A 1-2 finish here from the boys of AlphaTauri. Timo Gertz at the moment takes third place. He almost loses it, actually. He's actually smacked it, taken to fourth place. Now, Tun has actually grabbed third place off Timo Gertz. Well, that's something. I tell you that now. Tun has actually managed to grab hold of third place. Timo Gertz has gone down to fourth place, followed by Tim RB. Tim RB with a decent, with a decent comeback right there with Tim 144 coming up into sixth place. Desi started off, I believe, in fourth place. So, unfortunately, not much happened there, fortunately, for Desi in the house. I promise you, Desi, the win will come at one point. I do promise you, as Arne Chef seems to be rolling across the last corner right now. He will be taking the last place at 13th. So, that is the end of the race, as the Ferrari now crosses the line and takes up the 13th position. It's Basabi takes the top spot with Mighty FIFA as his teammate there. Lightning 66 is the driver of the day here, but I would say, you know what? I'm going to say it. I think Basabi drove an absolute epic race there. I think Mighty FIFA as well. Mighty FIFA obviously hold on so long for that race. But unfortunately, the ERS deployment helped Basabi well much. Anyway, we're going to be moving on from the commentary box. We're going to go into the general chat with the rest of them. We're going to be looking to try and do a couple of interviews. We'll see you in a split second. At the moment, I believe is the last. At the moment, so Mighty FIFA and Basabi take the two top spots, followed by Tun in the McLaren. So the two McLarens start off third and fourth, with Prim RB in fifth place. Absolute epic race that was, I believe, from the two AlphaTauris. Going to try and see if we can get a couple of interviews in at the moment. We'll go with Desi. I tell you what, we're going to start with Desi. Desi, mate, you had an absolute epic quality, mate, but unfortunately, it just didn't cut out for you at the race. I mean, were you expecting a little bit of rain, or were you expecting to go on a little bit longer in the race?
I was really happy with my qualifying, but I didn't think the one stop was possible in the race, so I went on the mediums early on, and turns out the one stop was possible. So bad for me.
Bad for you, definitely. Obviously, France is well, it's a hit and miss, really, to be honest, when it comes to the Paul Ricard. Yeah, for the Paul Ricard, it's a hit and miss. I mean, what would you say? Would you say it's one of your favourites, or would you say it's a miss for you?
Well, last week I would say I hated this track, but during my practice I figured out that I was really quick, so it's definitely one of my favorite tracks right now.
Well, anyway, at the moment, it's not like, I mean, you're still searching for that first win. I mean, what tracks could you see yourself actually performing, like, to the point where you actually could end up getting that first place spot?
Well, this calendar, I don't think I have any more winning possibilities. I think this was the only track where I had a small chance, but unfortunately my strategy didn't work out, so it sucks.
No, unfortunately, I'm sure it will come at some point. I guarantee that win will come. Anyway, Mexico is next, so I'm guaranteed I can probably see you actually having a decent lap and race round there. So, Desi, I have to bid you farewell. Have a good one, mate. Have a good week, and we'll see you in Mexico City.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Let's have a look. Who else have we got here? Oh, we've got the winner right here. We got Basabi. Basabi, absolutely epic, mate. I'm not gonna lie. There was a point where throughout that race where I was constantly shouting for you to literally use the ERS deployment because you'd get past your teammate Marty FIFA before that. But were you trying to save it up towards the final couple of laps? So at least then you can guarantee that you won't be able to use the deployment against you further on down the line.
No, we were just saving our tires, to be honest, for the end. So we didn't get over 75% because then you are at risk of puncture. And I heard in the chat actually that many people, like I think Timo did a one stop on mediums and he was on 85 and others were on 87 and 80%. So I don't know how they made it. They got incredibly lucky, but we just saved our tires. I just stayed in the DRS because I knew my teammate had the pace, and yeah, I think I didn't win only today, but we won together. I think because we very casually handled it off.
That's actually lovely to hear. I mean, it's not often actually where in this league where you actually do hear both teammates actually, not just racing for each other, but obviously racing as a team itself. You don't tend to hear that a lot, but either way, that's well commended on you. Anyway, Mexico, I know for full-on fact, I mean, we've had this conversation so many times in the past, Mexico City is one of your favourite tracks. I guarantee it, is it not?
Well, yeah, it is. You're right. We'll see what we can do there. I don't know how the pace of the others is compared to mine. We'll see about that. I can't give guarantees.
Anyway, Sabi, good talking to you, mate. Congratulations on the win, mate. And we'll see. Once again, we'll see you in Mexico City.
See you. Bye.
Right, from one AlphaTauri to another, we got Marty FIFA. Marty FIFA, you drove an absolute epic race. Your teammate obviously said that. Obviously, we're not. You're not only you're racing with against each other, but you're also racing for the team, which is I'm not gonna lie, you both you two are actually have a very unique relationship, especially in this league. I mean, would you say that?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Indeed, you're completely right. I think we were pretty good on this circuit today, and we were driving P1 and P2 just based on strategy, and we were completely conversating like, well, we've never been in such a dilemma before. It's actually in Dutch we say it called the devil's dilemma. So I was trying to calculate looking at the standings, which was the best end position for both of us. And since I'm not sure that if I can join the race in Italy, I would think that Wasabi needed points more, so I gave position 1 to him, and that's also the lead in the standings. But as Wasabi said, I don't think one of us won, but we won as a team, and that's what I'm very happy with.
That's actually quite poetic. I love it. But anyway, I believe you still hang on the World Championship at the moment for, I believe, just 1 point is in it at the moment. I think you are still leading as of at the moment, because I don't think Basabi got the fastest lap. So you're still winning the championship with 3 races left to go. I mean, could you possibly see yourself as world champion?
Well, definitely, but as I said, it depends just on how the other races are going, and that's the thing I can't predict. So we'll see. We'll practice next week also on Mexico, and we'll get the best out of it. Try to get the best out of it. And with the standings, I'm not definitely sure what the difference is right now. I thought it was
I believe
3 or 4
I believe 1 point
points.
separate you.
So I got 7 points less this race than Wasabi. So that's what my calculation was, that he is taking over the championship.
I don't believe so, because remember, I think it's 25.
we're equal. We're equal.
It's, yeah, I was about to
127
say,
both.
Okay, but Wasabi won a race more, so he still gets the lead. But that doesn't matter actually.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I believe. To be honest, actually, I'm thinking because unless Basabi got Basabi, did you get the fastest lap by any chance?
No, but I was on 102 and Mart FIFA was on 109, and I got 25, so that puts me into 127, and he got 18, so that also puts him on 127.
I believe it's 19 for second place, Basabi.
It's 18.
Is it 18?
You know your F1, man. Know your F1. Come on.
But no, it's literally. But okay, in that case, both of you have. Both of you are on the same points then. But obviously, Basabi, you'll go ahead by win. So that's incredible. Right, well, you two are definitely going to be having a scrap then. But obviously, it's harmless fun, isn't it? Both, once again, my FIFA, thank you very much for joining me, mate. Congratulations on the second place, and obviously congratulations on the 1-2. And I'll see you in Mexico, mate.
All right, thank you so much, mate. Have a nice weekend.
I will, mate. Trust me. Next work is Brenboy is the Hash driver. Now, Brenboy, it's so far this season is not going particularly great for you. I mean, so far what I'm seeing at the moment is obviously I think you've only gone into the points at least 2 times this year, I believe.
Mate,
with
it's horrible
at least,
this year.
Yeah, it's not going great at the moment, mate. I mean,
No, I don't know. I don't know why. The quali, I think I gave my teammate a good tow. Then he gave it to me as well, but I don't know why. But I just can't get a good quali lap in. Yeah, so then started P10, tried the 2-stop, didn't work. Finished P10. So.
Well, you're in the point. Well, at least you're in the points obviously this week. So,
Yeah.
but you're still yet to, I
as
believe. Yeah, I still believe you're still yet to get a podium place in the league. I think this is obviously your second league here with the WWRL. I mean, what as a mindset can you possibly give yourself? I mean, obviously, at the moment you're currently sitting on 7 points. Well, 8 now, obviously, of course, including today's race. So, obviously, you'll be preparing yourself for next season. I mean, what could we actually see differently, hopefully, from Brenboy next season? Hopefully, any change, maybe?
Yeah, I hope I will be a lot quicker. I got big problems with wheel spin. Yeah, I don't know why, but I just can't get it right. So yeah, but this year we do have Brazil, and normally I am pretty quick there. So
yeah, we do have Brazil, and let's face it, it is the last race of the season. A very F1 classic right there. Always have to have F1 Brazil at the end of the season. But anyway, only move on, head up, and keep going, mate. At the end of the day, well, you're a valuable part of the WWRL league. You're one of the original drivers from the of last season. So, well, keep going, my friend. I guarantee that the points will roll in soon.
Yeah, let's hope. I'm gonna be in Tier 1 next season. So
We win and lose as a team.
I'm getting. I'll tell you what. This is actually probably the first time I've actually got two teammates once again, literally having a dig at one another. Once again, first off, sorry, now the house is at it. So anyway, Brenboy, thank you very much, mate, for obviously for joining us, obviously, and unlucky. Well, congratulations on the point, but obviously, hopefully, we'll see a little bit more from you.
Thanks.
See you over the next couple of races, mate.
I hope so. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Well, that's it. All we have time, guys. Once again, France has delivered us, well, not one of the greatest of races, but it was also a talking point. Do we have a title challenge between 2 races, but from both same teams? Well, what can only wait and see as we are heading next to the Spanish, well, I would say one of the Spanish capitals of the world. It's Mexico. See you guys in a bit.